I'm Dave Dahle with KeizerTV. We are bringing to you some terrific new segments connecting you with Keizer students and parents. And we've been honored to have Senator Kim Thatcher join us during this time to also connect about education and connect her to our families that she represents. And we're just so grateful that she took time to be with us to share in the wisdom of helping our young people through this time that we've never, ever seen before. And so, Hanna, for our audience, we have Hanna Kuper and her mother, Brooke Tipton. Welcome very much to the program. We're glad that you were here.
Thank
and
you.
Hanna, our first question's for you. This spring, you were given an announcement. And how did you take this big pivot in your school year?
I was very devastated at first. There were a lot of big opportunities coming up through the school and school-related programs that I was really looking forward to. But after all that passed, I really started looking forward and how this whole thing could be very beneficial and how to help my peers and my teachers and make it easier for all of us.
And Mom, when you saw this transition in her education, what was your process in dealing with this change?
Well, it was a really frightening time. Just thinking about all of our lives were just sort of put on hold. We kind of went into suspended animation. At first we didn't know how long things would last or what the eventual changes would be. I ended up moving from my office to working from home also. And so we had to plan out different areas in our home for my husband, myself, and Hanna to have different Zoom calls and time for studying or working. And we didn't know how to do that at first. It was really a kind of scary, uncertain time. And it took a little while for us to get our feet under us and try to even figure out how to connect with our peers, her at school and me at work. And it was a very trying time, I think, at first for all of us.
And Senator Thatcher, was there a time in your life when you were a young person that you had something change or pivot for you? What tips would you have for Hanna during this time of so much uncertainty?
Well, you said something earlier, Hanna, that just really impressed me, and that you, at first, it kind of threw you through for a loop, but then you started looking forward and trying to find ways, at least this is what I took from it, is that you found ways to help other people and try to help them through it and be a positive example. That's amazing, especially for your age, to make that decision and not let it ruin your life. And because that would have been an easy thing to have happened, especially when you're looking forward so much to something and then just kind of got ripped away from you, but you were able to work through that and find some positive things from it. So that really inspires me. Thanks.
Well, thank you.
And Hanna, during these times, we've had guidance given by other students it's about making the most of the experiences now. We had another student who didn't go to his junior prom at McNary and said, I'll just go my senior year. And he's like, I don't get a chance to go now. And what would you say to other students here in Keizer about seizing this moment and making the most of it through this uncertainty?
I would say that it is really important looking forward, and I think it's a very valuable life lesson that, anything can change in an instant, and looking forward at life, this will definitely change my outlook on any experiences I get or any opportunities. I think I will not continue taking them for granted and really appreciate all the opportunities I get, especially in high school and in college and beyond.
And Mom, with providing kind of a community to help Hanna be the most she can be, what are some other ways that we as a community can help Hanna, not only in the school, but outside the school as a community, whether it's church? I think Hanna is part of our band at McNary, which is a wonderful supportive entity outside of a classroom support. That's a musical and artistic support. How have you seen that the band has been supportive to Hanna?
Well, the band itself, I mean, has been a phenomenal program for her to be involved in through really through elementary, middle, and high school so far. And, she has formed a really group of tight connections with a strong community of kids and instructors and a group that she's connected with. The challenge, I think, is having those performance opportunities taken away. It's really been hard for the kids to keep up their energy towards practicing and it's hard to teach a band class. I don't even know how you would teach a band class over a remote learning, opportunity. And so, I think what the kids kind of need is just to feel connected still. I think that's the biggest thing I've noticed is we're all staying home. We're trying to keep everyone, ourselves and everyone else safe. And so we're behind masks when we're out in public and we're staying home to protect everyone, but we're just feeling a sense of disconnection. And that's my hope for our community and for our school is that we can try to reconnect the kids back together and back into the educational system, and I think that none of us really knew how to do that back in the spring, and I'm hoping looking forward, this fall as we look at distance opportunities that we can figure out better ways of connecting with them,
Yeah, connection. I think that's the word, and it's taken on a whole new meaning of what is a connection amongst us. And it's also about role models. Hanna, when you talk about having optimism looking forward, it's great to have a female senator. 15 years ago, we didn't have a lot of females who were given leadership opportunities. And now it's becoming a norm. And, Senator Thatcher, as a woman, to be in this role for young women, to know that they can be in a state leadership role. How does it feel at this time where we're dealing with some really foundational societal choices? We're not just taking what we've been given. It's our time in 2020 to paint a canvas of our values and to have a female represent us and be honored and bring that perspective. We're so grateful that you're there for us, Senator Thatcher. What does it feel like to be a role model for these young women?
Well, it's hard to say since I'm just being me. But if that is the case, then I am very honored. If I am being a role model, I find that an honor. I just remember that gender, it doesn't really matter. I mean, gender, if it was a man or a woman, just people that that inspire you to do better and be your better self and to make the world a better place. Those are the role models we need, and how we can agree and try to find common ground when we don't agree, and find those areas that we can move forward together civilly. Those are the kinds of things that I admire in people and look to for my role models. So I'm hoping I can be that individual as well. So I appreciate that.
So Hanna, we're getting announcements from the high school that they're going to be coming out with some modifications. And what's your thoughts with these new adaptive ways to get educated?
I am saddened by the distance part of it. I would much rather be in school in classroom, but I also understand that there are safety measures that need to be taken, and I'd much rather see the effects of them now than deal with the effects of not implementing them in the long run. But overall, I am thrilled to still be able to receive an education, and even if it is through distance measures. I am looking forward to it, and I'm definitely looking forward to when we get to go back. So,
well, everyone wear your mask, because I think if we can get these new exposures down, and we can get a vaccine, hopefully. Yeah. I think that classroom, looking around, we're going to appreciate that perspective of our human connection. Yeah, it's been taken away, and so I really appreciate this segment this evening to have a chance to hear from your perspectives. Thank you for being an example to our community. We have a lot of young students who are 8, and they're just starting their education. And Hannah, you got a lot of years to be able to be in our system, so that's a blessing. But to our young people who are starting out, in closing, Hannah, what would you say to our young students in elementary school in Keizer? What should they do to make the most of this time?
I would say try your best to have fun. I know it's a little bit hard right now, but there's always a way. And to look forward, this isn't going to last forever, hopefully, and those key experiences in the education system are not gone forever.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining us this evening. Senator Thatcher, thank you for being here with us and rallying with me around Hannah, and we're so proud of you. And
my pleasure. Yeah, she's amazing.
And Senator Thatcher, should audiences want to connect with you, I'll put a link into your legislative website, and we know your office, as you'd mentioned, is really getting inundated. So thank you so much for being there to take the call. Thank your staff who work tirelessly. They don't hear it enough that we out here in Keizer know you're there, longer hours than planning. So thank you so much for coming on this evening and joining us and rallying around Hannah and Brooke.
And thank you from us as well. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Hannah, what would you like to say to the Senator in closing?
I would just like to say thank you. It is great to see a woman representing us from Keizer, but also from Oregon. So thank you so much.
All right. Well, couldn't say it better. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. This has been a segment with KeizerTV. I'm Dave Dahle. Thank you very much.